So what we would do is as we do a very simple guided meditation, and you can choose to keep your eyes open or closed or whatever works for you. Okay, and I will I would just help you center, explore a little bit with your own system, your mind, body, energy, and then we would spend few moments in silence. Okay, so so sit relaxed, all of you. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your back supported by the chair or the couch, wherever you're sitting, and take a deep breath in. So as you take a deep breath in, feel this breath is the life force, the energy. It's coming in, and as it's coming in, it just uh, filling you up with energy. And take a moment to hold, and then you exhale. And as you exhale, you let go of anything which doesn't belong in this moment. So exhale all the way, releasing everything which doesn't belong in this moment. Take another deep breath in, all the way, all the way. And when you feel you are full, just push yourself a little bit more to go further, and then exhale. Take another deep breath in, and exhale. And just continue to breathe deeply, inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. And with every breath, as you're inhaling and exhaling, notice the subtle changes, how you feel as you inhale and as you exhale. And with this rhythm, watching the breath coming in, going out, and with each breath, you're getting a little more relaxed, a little more easy. So now I would invite you to scan your physical body all the way from the top of your head to your feet, and feel into your physical body and see how you feel right now. What's going on? Do you feel connected to your physical body? Do you feel disconnected? You feel partially connected? And either way, it is all right. So don't use your mind into thinking this is right, I should feel this way, why I'm feeling this way. So no judgments, no criticism, just be present and allow yourself to experience whatever is there. So check what's going on. Also notice the mental stories, the criticism, the judgments, if there are any. And as you observe your physical body, just bring into awareness that as you're feeling into it, what is it that is needed physically right now? What is it that you really want in this moment physically? You want more breath, more relaxation, more ease, whatever it is. Maybe change the posture, the way you're sitting, whatever it is, which would help you come more into joy physically in this moment, whatever it is. So let's go to the next step. So I would like to invite you to check what's going on with your energy body. Energy body is the one which carries the chi, the prana inside you, but also in form of aura around you. So check how's your energy in this moment. Do you feel alive? Do you feel very vibrant? Or you feel partially alive? Or you feel no energy? Or you feel very overwhelmed? Either way, it is okay. So the idea is to observe what's there right now. How does it feel with your energy body? And also recognize the mental judgments, mental stories. Acknowledge them and leave them aside, but come back and feel into your energy body. Notice the subtle changes in your energy. And given what's going on energetically in this moment, what is it that you really want right now? If you feel good, if you feel alive, vibrant, you feel good, that's all. You don't need anything else. But if there is something else, you feel overwhelmed, you want less energy, so check if you want that, or if you want more openness, more aliveness. But the key word is in this moment, not tomorrow, not day after tomorrow. And notice any subtle changes as you give yourself permission to acknowledge what you really want energetically in this moment. So let's move on to our emotional body. So check emotionally right now what's going on, what all emotions are present. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you excited? Are you calm? You could be happy and sad at the same time. And either way, it is okay. And maybe you are not feeling anything at all, and that's okay too. So check what's going on emotionally. Also, what is the mental story behind your emotions? And acknowledge those stories without making it right or wrong, whatever you are feeling. And tune into your emotions. What emotions are there right in this moment? And given what emotions are there right now, what is it that you want emotionally more of in this moment? You want more openness? You want more connection? Or if you're too open, you want to be close a little bit. Either way, it is okay. So feel into your emotional body, and given what's there, what is it that you want in this moment? Now check your mind right now. How's your mind in this moment? Is it having thoughts, or is it calm? Is it at ease? So notice as an observer what's going on in your mind. And acknowledge whatever is there. And given what's there, what is it that you want in this moment mentally? Maybe you want more calmness. Maybe you're okay where you are. So notice what is it, what is the longing in this moment. Now I want you to connect to that part of you which carries your innate goodness, your soul, your virtues, your powers, and that part which has connection with the universe, with God. So step into that part and notice in this moment as you connect to that higher self, to God, what is the message for you in this moment? The message could be a word, a sentence, a feeling, a vibration. And maybe there is just silence, and that's okay too. So notice what's the message. And whatever the message is, as you notice it, do you resonate with it, whatever is there in this moment? And finally, I want you to bring into awareness what is What is it that relationship means to you? What is it that you really want to experience in an ideal relationship? We all have a vision about how a relationship should be, whether it's a loved one, a partner, or whether this relationship with our children or people around us or with this whole world. So, what is your vision of this relationship? What do you want to experience in this relationship? And what is it that you would how would it feel when you are actually living that ideal vision of your relationship? How would it feel physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically, if you're living that ideal version of your relationship? Some of you might have experienced it in these qualities in certain relationships in your life, and some of you already have this knowing deep inside that this is how it would feel when I'm living this life where I have this kind of relationships with these virtues, these qualities. And notice how it feels when you are allowing yourself to feel that ideal version of that relationship. So take a deep breath in and let it go. And whenever you're ready, whenever you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes. As you open your eyes, as you look around, see how it feels to come back in connection with the world around you from this space of your own inner journey. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really nice. So we'll start the conversation by sharing, and then we would love to hear from you and share together. So the topic of that we feel free when we don't have bondage in relationship, right? And when we feel bondage, we want to break free of those relationships. And this interplay of freedom, giving freedom, being in freedom, feeling in bondage, or maybe in some ways putting others in a sort of bondage. So this is what we're talking about, because it's definitely a huge part of relationships, no matter what kind of relationship it is, right? With your children, with your friends, with your spouse, your parents. It could even be work sometimes too, if you're a boss or, So, it's a huge component in as to whether our relationships can work well, if they feel good, and if everyone's allowed to grow within them, because, one of our core qualities is freedom, as a spiritual being, we're born free, and the soul is actually, it is its own entity. It's free of every other soul in a sense. It is its own free being. And yet we come into life and we come into connection and we share connection. And when we can feel free within those connections, those relationships we would call healthy. Those are healthy relationships, right? And there's definitely times in every relationship where there's this push-pull of us needing more freedom or needing to give more freedom. And there's reasons why this tendency to attach or sort of create bondage for the self or others comes into play too, right? Because it requires a huge amount of self-respect and trust in yourself and your journey to be able to give people freedom, and a lot of trust in their journey too. And oftentimes, there's something that's happened to us in the past where, either we don't have that level of self-worth right now, or we don't have that level of trust. And so other things come into play where this aspect of bondage comes in, and it depends on the kind of person you're dealing with. But if someone is healthy, they're not going to want you to put them into bondage. And if you're healthy, you're not going to want anyone to take any part of your freedom away. Freedom of any kind, of your expression, your creativity, what you're able to accomplish in this lifetime. And also, some of us have a tendency to be extreme in another way, where we have this extreme need for freedom because we're so afraid of getting close to someone because we're going to get hurt, right? And sometimes there is that inability to bond as well, and that can be another issue. And so we have to have in relationship, of course, the ability to have interdependence, but there has to be that total feeling of independence as well, in that I am supported in this connection to really be myself, and I don't have to make myself into someone else in order to be in this connection. That would be a bondage, and that would sort of squash our spirit. It kind of squashes our spirit. I know, speaking from my experience, when Vivek and I first started talking, I had that sort of extreme side of freedom where I didn't want to be in bondage to anything, and being close to someone brought fear up in me because of past hurt, and afraid to be too close to someone because I would get hurt. So that created a certain dynamic in our connection where he had to be very aware of sort of my extreme need not to feel in bondage, and for him to sort of interplay with that. And he did a really good job, because I think that in most situations I would have probably run if I would have felt somebody was trapping me in any way, because I did have unhealed things around being so close to somebody and then that getting pulled away from me. So I wanted to know, that was sort of just some initial thoughts and my experience, and let him share, and then we can all, get into discussing it further in your experiences.
So as she shared, you can understand I did a good job with her. So so the reason I was able to understand the need was because just like her, I had my own fears because of my childhood being very restrictive. So before I met Christina, I was going through my own transformation journey, and I had a coach, and in one of the sessions what came up was that I was afraid of being in a relationship, and the reason for that was because a relationship is equal to bondage for me, because in childhood I lost my freedom because the relationships were so restrictive. So then it clicked, like I don't really need to be afraid, because if I am in a healthy relationship where the other person respects me, loves me, gives me my own space, then I can experience my own freedom, and within that space, with that freedom, I can grow, and actually we both can grow. So I started working on it for a few years before I met Christina, and when I met her, I had a good sense of who I am and what's my purpose in life, like what gives meaning to me in my life. Because I had both of those things there, then the meaning was coming to me from my purpose, which direction in my life I'm going, and also knowing who I am is me as a soul, or whatever energy, whatever you want to call me. I am also an individual, but in connection with her, we are together, right? So both those things were there, but since I knew who I am and what is my purpose, what gives meaning to me, I was able to move forward with my life without looking for both these things from her. So both those things means not to look for meaning from her, that she is going to give me some purpose or acknowledge my purpose, or she's going to tell me who I am. Because most of the times relationship is is a tug of war, because we are looking for those two things from the other person, and other person is also looking for the same things from you if they don't know about it. So sometimes you would connect where you would say, oh, this person completely understands me, and sometimes they will not, because they will not understand, because they are on their own journey. Because I have the awareness of both of them, I had the trust that I would continue to move forward in my life no matter what happens, whether somebody is with me, somebody is not without me. And because I was able to do that, I can trust myself more, and I can trust my journey and my life more. And when I can do that, and to the extent I can do it for myself, like if I trust my journey 50%, I trust my life's path 50%, I can only do that 50% for other person. So as much as I trusted my journey myself, I was able to trust her journey, and in that, her struggles also. So all I have to do is not try to control her to be in a certain manner with me. I just have to hold space for her to go through her challenges and be there to support her. And holding space for me was simple in the sense that I have to just listen to her deeply, not just what she's trying to communicate through her words. And that's what we do. We try to understand other people through their words, but to dwell more deeper, to feel into where the other person is, and based on that, how I can be present for them to support them. And it's a journey, relationship, like almost all the journeys starts with being codependent, and the struggle is always there to become independent. And that's why we are always going through this pendulum. When we don't feel the freedom, we try to break free, try to go to the other end to be completely free, to have that independence. And then finally, in a really well established relationship where there is growth happening, growth means there would be challenges, there would be some pain, but not necessarily suffering. So there would be growth happening, but they are happening in a place of interdependence. You can't have interdependence until unless you have experienced your own independence. And because once you are independent, the other person in your relationship is independent, then you can have interdependence. So first recognizing codependent, that we are codependent, because your happiness would make me happy, your sadness would make me sad. That's codependent relationship, right? That doesn't mean that you don't care for other person when they are sad. That doesn't mean being cold to them, but their mood shifts or their struggles won't make you go through the same mood shifts, right? So codependent relationship would be a pendulum, like somebody's moods would become trigger for you, then what you go through become triggers for them. So recognizing that, and second, to have independence. And for having independence, to really know who you are and what gives purpose to you, what gives meaning to your life, is really key. And both of them would help you be on that path of being more independent yourself, which would help you become more trusting, which would help you become more more open in your own journey. And once you are in that place, then you can connect with somebody who is also in that place, to create that interdependent relationship. And that would bring all the ingredients of learning with experimentation. And even though there would be challenges, there would be triggers, but you are not blaming each other for what you are going through. You are actually supporting each other, whatever other person is going through, and trusting it's their journey. I have to be there for them. So a very simple way to be more trusting is to see how much you trust yourself, and at the same time how much you how well you treat yourself, how good you are in holding space for your own challenges. When you're going through tough time, when you're going through tough challenges, do you beat yourself down, or you deal with yourself in more loving and compassionate manner? And if you can do that for yourself, you would be able to extend it to the people you are in relationship with. So to understand where you are in your relationship journey, and where you are in relationship with your own journey of who you are, where you are heading, what's your purpose, and then finally bringing these aspects in your relationship where you can feel into other people, support them, then you can actually feel freedom. And if you cannot do that, then naturally it would happen that you would feel bonded in that relationship because the growth won't be there or you won't feel the growth. So these are the key things which would help you enjoy this relationship with more openness, with more bondedness, you know. Otherwise, we would always have challenges coming through our past unhealed stuff. So I just want to pause here and then open up this conversation for all of you to share your experience in relationship or uh, your own learnings, you know, in this.